On the evening of March 13, 1997, a truly mysterious series of sightings gripped the southwestern United States and made a number of individuals previously skeptical of extraterrestrial visitors suddenly into believers. That night, switchboards from Nevada to New Mexico lit up, with people calling in terrified and looking for answers as they watched several bright lights float in formation across the sky. Some saw just a series of orbs in a triangular V shape, while others claimed to have seen an actual aircraft hovering above them. In the days that followed, a number of explanations were given for the lights, including an official one from the Luke Air Force Base that many would not accept. Some claimed that they were alien in origin, others said that they were a message from beyond, and there were some who saw them as a classified technology test that should have been far more top secret than it wound up being. The only thing the lights could not have been was a figment of people's collective imaginations. Several photos and videos were taken of the phenomena, and it was witnessed by not just a few individuals, but literally thousands of people in what was dubbed by author Robert Schaefer to be perhaps the most widely witnessed UFO event in history. Get ready to believe, because this is the Dark Chronicles. The Phoenix UFO mystery, also known as the Phoenix Lights, were spotted by various individuals over a range of 480 kilometers between 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the evening of March 13, 1997. Initial reports claimed that a large V-shaped object had appeared in the sky over Henderson, Nevada, traveling on a southeast course. Around 8:15 p.m., a cluster of reddish-orange lights was seen over Paulden, Arizona, and reported in by an unidentified former police officer. Soon after, they were spotted by Prescott Valley, Arizona resident Tim Lay and his family, who said that the lights seemed to change their arrangement as they passed overhead, going from a rounded arc, as if the 5 distinct lights were resting on top of a giant balloon when they were around 105 kilometers away, to more of a distinctly shaped upside-down V-shape 10 minutes later. Lay claimed that the lights seemed to spread apart while they gradually moved towards them. Then, the family noticed the vessel, a shape that Lay claimed resembled a 60-degree carpenter square, which the lights were attached to, with one light at the front tip of the upside-down V and 2 lights on each wing of the aircraft. They watched as the massive object passed over them, barely making a sound as it cruised between just 30 to 46 meters above their heads, and eventually disappeared as it navigated between 2 mountain peaks on its way towards Phoenix, where the majority of sightings took place. Most of the accounts claimed the lights were moving mostly southbound, as if following a local highway. The further sightings happened in Mexico. Later that evening, around 10 p.m., the lights appeared again, this time right over the city of Phoenix, where, instead of moving along this time, they simply seemed to float in the air or descend slowly. Alarmingly, the objects seemed to have a strange effect on some people. Some witnesses claimed not to feel awed or amazed, but instead seemed to suffer a short burst of temporary amnesia, with some claiming that they didn't immediately discuss what they'd seen and instead simply got back into their car and drove home quietly. One unidentified woman claimed to see the lights, but as shocking as they were, she only remembers going right back to her cup of tea and not saying a word until being questioned about it much later. Adding to the mystery, March 13, 1997 was not the first time the eerie lights were witnessed. Some individuals, including Dr. Lynn Katai, an award-winning health educator and physician, spotted similar glowing objects in the Arizona sky nearly a month prior. Before her experiences with the lights, she was an avid skeptic. However, something about the event turned her into a firm believer in life beyond our world. Like many others that March evening, Hollywood movie star Kurt Russell had his eyes on the skies above Arizona, only he wasn't on the ground. Just 4 days ahead of his 46th birthday, the actor was flying into Phoenix from Los Angeles on his private jet with his son Oliver. A licensed pilot, it was actually Russell who was at the controls and about to land the aircraft when he and Oliver both spotted 6 lights floating high above the airport in uniform V-shape. Oliver immediately asked his father what he thought they were, but Russell was just as curious, so he radioed the tower to ask them. Their response left him even more confused, as they disclosed that their instruments didn't show anything like what he had described being present in the sky. Alarmed, the actor replied, "I'm going to declare it's unidentified, it's flying, and it's 6 objects." 2 years later, while watching a documentary on the Phoenix Lights, Russell learned that they were reported to air traffic control by an anonymous general aviation pilot, which was, in fact, him. Only then did he realize the scope of what he'd witnessed. What if the lights, or the object or objects that they were attached to, were not so much from another planet as they were from an Earth that simply isn't our own? The Interdimensional UFO Hypothesis suggests that there are other planes of existence that happen to coexist separately alongside or even overlapping our own. The appearance of mysterious lights and objects could be the result of the barrier between our worlds weakening to the point of becoming transparent, or they could be visible due to a change in the vibration rates of one of the dimensions, bringing it more in line with the others. Thus, it could be that the Phoenix Lights never actually crossed over into our universe, but instead the barrier between our world and the one containing the lights became somehow see-through, transparent, allowing us to see them, and possibly allowing them to see us. In 1975, American astronomer J. Allen Hynek co-authored a book titled The Edge of Reality, a progress report on unidentified flying objects. In the book, Hynek lays out a compelling explanation for the interdimensional UFO hypothesis. Basically, if you were to look around you, you'd be unable to see the video signals being sent over the airwaves without a transducer, in other words, a television set, and in the same way, other interlocking universes might be out there, overlapping our own, but we haven't yet figured out how to actively tune into them. This theory explores the truly fascinating correlation between UFOs and psychic phenomena, and reveals that one or more beings from these parallel worlds could very well be responsible for not only lights and floating objects, like the ones over Phoenix, but also for alleged encounters with ghosts, monsters, or even demons. Ironically, finding the true source of the Phoenix Lights could possibly shine some desperately needed light on some of the scariest encounters our world has ever seen. Luke Air Force Base, which is situated just west of Glendale, Arizona, delivered an official explanation that they hoped would deal with the growing fears after the appearance of the Phoenix Lights. According to their statement, the lights were seen because of an operation the Air Force conducted called Operation Snowbird. The first lights seen flying in the V-shaped formation were actually a group of A-10 Thunderbolt II aircraft flying over the city of Phoenix to the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base near Tucson while running their formation lights. Unlike commercial or private planes, which have blinking collision lights, these military aircraft were allegedly running formation, non-blinking lights. The second lights, which seemed to slowly descend near Phoenix, the official report claimed, were also caused by the A-10 Thunderbolts, this time dropping low falling flares, which they called training exercises over the Barry M. Goldwater Range outside of Phoenix. While the military's simple explanation eased the nerves of some who initially feared the lights and the many terrifying things they could represent, there were many, including Dr. Katai, who could not accept the details that they were given. Some pointed out the way in which the Phoenix Lights hovered and moved was inconsistent with how falling flares or soaring planes in formation would move, while others either witnessed or believed the reports of those who did witness the massive singular aircraft the lights were attached to. Additionally, those who suffered from the temporary amnesia believed to have been caused by the lights somehow don't have their questions answered either. Could it be the military made up their explanation for some cover-up? Or perhaps they were performing a training exercise, but the unwilling participants weren't just a desert and mountains, but the citizens nearby. Official reports later released from the Pentagon, the headquarters building for the Department of Defense in the United States, disclosed that while there was no evidence clearly linking unidentified anomalous phenomenon to extraterrestrial activity, the possibility that some of the encounters were in fact caused by aliens is an explanation that they simply cannot officially rule out. The fact is, there have been too many sightings, abductions, and stories of other encounters with creatures or objects not of this world for even the highest levels of government to ignore. In 2023, David Grush, a former U.S. intelligence official and decorated Afghanistan combat veteran, testified under oath that he had viewed documents reporting engagements with multiple aircraft that were definitely of alien origin. According to him, the US federal government had a covert UFO retrieval program and is constantly covering up encounters with beings that are either from other planets or from other dimensions. This program also focuses on reverse engineering that technology for the betterment of humankind. This means the tech behind those 5 lights in the Arizona sky could be helping the battery life on the latest smartphones. Of course, if the government of a country acquired technology of the downed spaceship of some advanced race of creatures, it obviously wouldn't want that information finding the eyes or ears of their potential enemies. We may never truly know what happened that night, or where the bizarre lights came from or went, though there's clearly no shortage of theories. Were they an alien race making itself known, or simply checking out the human race before a much later meeting? Could it be beings from another dimension peeking through? Could the object now be the property of the US government who are breaking it down and reverse engineering it for technology? Or could this whole thing be the government test of some kind of mind-affecting technology? Or perhaps this was all just a training exercise with flares. For now, there's no easy way to satisfy all the questions being asked about the Phoenix Lights. But thank you guys for watching. If you are enjoying this new series, The Dark Chronicles, give this a like, leave a comment, and of course share it. It helps me out tremendously. And if you want to watch more, the entire playlist of The Dark Chronicles is on my YouTube channel at the very top. And of course, follow me on all the things. All the links are in the description, and I will see you guys next time.